Cowabunga dudes, you are here with Caleb Thompson, Ed Perkins, and Derek Royalty. And this is Oracle Bones. Ancestor worship was very important to the early Shang kings and nobles. It was a way of life. When a man died, the ancient Chinese believed his spirit lived on in the afterworld. They believed their ancestors had magical powers. These magical powers allowed their ancestors to punish them or even to help them. To keep their ancestors happy, they brought gifts of food and wine to special places or to temples. They held many celebrations to honor their ancestors. Ancient Chinese oracle bones are pieces of bone or turtle shell that contain the oldest body of knowledge in ancient Chinese writing. They contain texts that shed lots of light on ancient China. These bones date back to the end of the Shang dynasty. It is interesting to point out that prior to the discovery of oracle bones, it had never been proven that the Shang dynasty had ever existed. Now around 150,000 oracle bones have been unearthed, many of them in Anyang. It has now been proven that Yingsu ruins at Anyang were once the capital of the Shang dynasty. Oracle bones were used to communicate with the ancestors by the Shang kings, sometimes called dragon bones. Oracle bones have been unearthed as early as the Han Dynasty, which is 202 BC to 220 AD. The people who dug them up were at the time ignorant of the historical value. They were typically sold as dragon bones. They were commonly ground up and used as medicine. It is impossible to know how many oracle bones were destroyed this way. Scholar Wang Yirong has been credited with being the first person to ever recognize the writings on the oracle bones as ancient Chinese. This is the story that has recognized the writing in 1899 when he came down with malaria and was about to be treated with one of the bones. He and his friend Luo saw the writing and stopped the doctor from grinding the bone into powder. The text in the bones reveals that they were used as tools for divination. Ancient Chinese people of the Shang dynasty used the bones to perform divinations for the Shang kings. These acts of divination were usually performed by diviners and later by the kings themselves. The king or emperor would ask a question. For example, will it rain tomorrow? The priests would carve out the questions on an oracle bone, which was just an animal bone or a turtle shell. Then the priest would heat a bronze pen and hold the hot pen onto the bone. This created a pattern of cracks over the bone. The priest, who usually was a woman, would study the cracks to find the question to the answers. Usually, the questions asked to the oracle bones will be yes or no questions. And I'm sure you are all wondering, how can you see the oracle bones today? Well, I've got news for you.
In the China National Library, there are approximately 30,000 pieces of oracle shell bone scripts. Among these precious collections, 28,450 pieces belong to Mr. Liu T. Zhi before 1953. The government purchased them from Leo in 1953 and preserved them in the China National Library. All 28,450 pieces are well protected in 150 wooden cases, and inside each case is a separate cardboard box with wraps of silk. The oracle shells and bones reside inside these boxes. Each box is accompanied with an index card, and on each is a drawing of the piece or shell bone and a number. In addition to these, there are 18 booklets of rubbing copies of all the scripts found on the shells and bones, as well as their interpretations.
She bangs, oh baby, when she moves, I go crazy 'cause she looks like a flower, but she stings like a bee, like every girl in history. She bangs.